Okay, here's my mark that I made right there, and that means the bottom of the stack has got to line up with that. Okay, here's the next strange thing we're going to do. We're going to attach that chimney to that pole. I don't know if the fire or if the heat inside the stack ever gets hot enough to burn the pole, but I don't care. This is what I was taught by those Indians. You put a wire around the pole. There we go. Wire around the pole, like that. Then you got a can, a Campbell soup can in this case, and you put two ends of the wire through the can, like that. And that can goes between the pole and the stack, like that. See? I'll put it up a little further here. And it keeps the pole from igniting, which I doubt it would do, but I wouldn't take a chance on it. See how that works? And then you tie the wire tight around the pole and stack, and that's can number one. And we're going to put 3 in there. You don't have to watch me putting in all 3, but you saw me put in the first one. And this part here lines up with my mark right there. Right there. That'll be perfect. Okay, here we have our 3 cans on the pole. They're all attached, ready to go up. We got a cap on top. All that does keep rain and snow out of the stovepipe. Overnight it could snow enough up here to plug up that pipe in the morning. We don't want that to happen, so we put a cap on it. And kind of crude, but it works good. But there's our pipe. And you can see this pipe has been used before. Actually, this pipe is probably, I would say 15 years old now. Given us a lot of good service, and it will again. And well, before we stand this up and put that up, we've got to have a way to attach that pole to that same I-frame pole on the tent. And it'll take 2 pieces, and I'll explain why we have to have that in a few minutes, but I got to cut a couple pieces to go up there. Okay, the pipe's on. We got the pole standing up in this little hole here next to the tent. We're ready to put the stack down on top of that elbow, and then we'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, we got the stack attached to the elbow here. It's all supported by that wire there, but this stack is going to need more to keep it standing straight. What we're going to do is we're going to nail 2 pieces like this from the stack pole to this A-frame here. And that way, no matter how the tent moves, the stack is going to move with the tent as well. The whole thing moves as a unit all the way down to the stove when we do this. We've got to have 2 of these on here, one this way and one this way. And that keeps it solid, the same distance all the time from that A-frame pole. If you just had one, it would bend and it would be different. You got to have 2 of them on there like that. So that's our next step. There, first piece is on. It seems solid, but you see how it can still sway, and that's why we need a second piece going in another direction. Okay, we'll do that next. Now, this green wood doesn't burn easy. I put them on with 20 penny nails, and now you see it won't rock now. It's as steady as a rock. The only way it can move is when the tent moves, it'll move exactly the same, so all the parts of the chimney can't come apart. Okay, what we've accomplished here is creating a way of keeping warm in camp for a couple weeks, burning wood. We don't have to worry about depleting oxygen in the tent. All the fumes from the stove go up the chimney and out. They don't gather inside the chimney. And that stove won't hold enough wood at night to keep us warm all through the night. But when we get up in the morning, in a matter of 15 minutes, that tent is cozy warm and we're ready to go. But this is a good system. You're not going to burn down your tent. You're not going to ruin your tent. As long as you don't put newspaper in your stove, you're okay. And you can be as warm as you can be at home. A lot of hunters find it difficult to believe that we can actually walk around in bare feet in that tent when it's 23, 27 below zero outside, in complete comfort in there. But it's true. And in fact, a lot of times if we don't, we'll kind of forget about what's happening in there. It's getting kind of warm, and all of a sudden, boy, it's getting warm in here. we'll have to shut down the air supply on the stove and turn the flue back a little bit and open the door for a little while. And it can be 20 below outside and it's plenty warm inside there. And so this is a good way to do it, and it's not really expensive. It's just a little more work. You got to go cut and split wood. We cut standing dead wood because it's dry when it's standing dead wood, no matter how much it rains, and it's in good shape. Usually stuff laying on the ground is soaked. You get a lot of smoke from it, not so much heat, and it's just not good wood. But standing dead wood is good wood. But anyway, there it is. You probably have never seen anything like this before, but this is a wonderful way to heat your camp. And it'll become traditional for you once you try it. You'll love this. You'll love the sound of the wood popping and crackling and mewing in the stove. Living in a tent out here in the wilderness among our deer is half the fun of deer hunting. And it really is. And we've been doing it for 50 years. And this has been the way we do it. Okay, well, everything's put together. Just a few tips. When you take your pipes down, there's going to be junk in them. Take them out, take them away from your campsite, and tap them on the ground a little bit to get most of the junk. But you don't want to take that all home just the way it is. What we usually do is put all the pipes, except for the first three, two with the elbows and the one with the flue, they go inside the stove for the trip home. And the rest of them go in a plastic bag like this, seal it up. That way you don't have any of the mess going home and storing it at home. But there it is. A couple things I should mention about your stove and stovepipes. When you put up a new set of stovepipes right out of the store, nice and black and shiny, the first time you light up a fire in your stove, you're going to get the most horrible fumes you ever smelled coming off those stovepipes. So count on that. Set it all up. Put a fire in there early in your stove. Open up your tent doors wide and stay out for at least a half hour. Let all those fumes disappear. And after that, you'll never have a problem with that again. Another thing I might mention, it isn't easy to find a stove like this, a two-barrel stove. This is smaller than the Alaskan type. Alaskan types are made out of 55-gallon drums, oil drums, great big things. This is a smaller one. It's homemade. It was given to me by one of the students that came to my buck and bear hunting school one year. And I've been using it many years since then. Been a good little stove. But you can buy kits for making a barrel stove. My son Ken bought a kit and got I think it's a 30-gallon drum. It's a smaller, it's about the size of the lower tank on this stove. And he made that stove himself. And it comes with legs and there's parts for the door and things of that sort. And the air opening on the door. And then he's got a bigger tent than we have, and he keeps his tent just nice and warm all the time with that one stove alone. Underneath, now we set up our stove on dirt. There's no canvas or anything underneath the stove. It's set up on dirt.